High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. And welcome out here to Gonzaga Prep High School for a battle between Greater Spokane League teams, the visiting Ridgeline Falcons and the Bullpups, here to start the season off. Inside the booth, Noah Schmick alongside Mike Peterson. And Mike, we've got a tale of two teams, but maybe let's start with the home team first. Gonzaga Prep, they are senior laden. They are veteran players.
They are, and they had a special year last year in head coach Nate Graham's first year as head coach. Undefeated all the way through the GSL, won the GSL, of course, and then lost in the semifinals. And they have a load of talent back from last year's team, including their quarterback, Sam Kincaid. This could be a very special year for Prep.
Yeah, and then let's talk a little about the Ridgeline Falcons. This team, not as senior-laden as the Bullpups, but still could be a whole lot to worry about on the offensive side for the Falcons.
Well, and it's the opposite with head coach David Myers, who is in his fifth year at Ridgeline since the inception of the program. Last two seasons, prolific offense. They were known for throwing the ball. They averaged 34 points per game in the last two seasons. All those seniors are gone. They are very inexperienced. A lot of juniors in this lineup getting a first varsity start. So this is more of a rebuild season for the Ridgeline Falcons.
Well, we can't wait for it. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and kickoff right here on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. As we are just set to kick off here at Gonzaga Prep, the Bullpups taking on the Ridgeline Falcons, and the kickoff has been underway. So Ridgeline, they deferred on the coin toss. They decided to go ahead and give the Prep Bullpups the reason to either receive or kick, and they decided to receive. So now Gonzaga Prep gets set to start off our season here on SWX. Mike, excited to be here, and here we go. First play of the season.
Yeah, and what jumped out at me out of the blocks, that kickoff went 65 plus yards. That young man has a leg on him.
Has a bit of a boot there. We now will start here with the Gonzaga Prep offense led by quarterback Sam Kincaid, the senior, 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's got a whole lot of experience after last year, as he will be under center in the shotgun. The fake handoff, a quick bubble screen out to the left side, and Jonah Keller, I should say, has it, and he is gone. First play from scrimmage, touchdowns, Gonzaga Prep. Jonah Keller goes ahead and lights this one up right off the bat. Man, Sam Kincaid just throws it out real quick, and Jonah Keller breaks a tackle. He's off to the races.
Gets a nice block on the edge, and how about that speed? He just separated from the pack.
Man, the first team GSL running back from last year, he looked like a wide receiver there and took it the distance. As just like that, first play of the game, 6-0, and possibly 7 after this extra point attempt.
And that is some next-level speed right there.
And kicking it up through the uprights was Paul Davidow, as it is 7-0. Gonzaga Prep over Ridgeline to start things off here. A quick screen, quick bubble pass, and I'll tell you what, Keller was off to the races after that.
Yeah, the tackling angle missed by that defender for Ridgeline coming across, and then it was just nothing but a foot race. 13 seconds into the season, and you've got 7 points on the board.
Well, it's time for tonight's Keys to the Game, presented by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best.
Well, with Ridgeline, we know they're young, and so what's the next gen of the Falcons going to look like? Now, according to their head coach, they're going to probably be more balanced this year, run pass rather than pass heavy in the past. So look for that and what happens with these young guys. And then Gonzaga Prep, I think that first play personified everything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's amazing, they're known for the prolific running game, but they open the season with the pass and they bust it for a big play.
Yeah, well, they've got a whole lot of weapons, a whole lot of seniors. So we saw right there. Of course, the nerves might get to you, season opener here. And, you got to get that first hit. Well, they really didn't get any first hits there. Jonah Keller went straight to the end zone. So Ridgeline will get the ball here to start their season here on offense, coming out to start the game at quarterback. Brand new quarterback here for the Falcons. It is a junior Colton Peel for the Falcons. He's 5'10", 165 pounds, and he has no reps at the varsity level at the quarterback position. So we have, like we said, a lot of juniors on this Falcons team, so we'll see what they come out with. They've always been tough on offense. They are not an easy out, especially last year. We saw Braden Allen. Of course, he's gone, but they just had a whole lot of weapons. They run that kind of spread you out type of offense. Mike, I guess just seeing right here, a lot of spread.
Well, and this is their standard offense. Is you got quarterback, you've got single back, and then 4 wideouts, trips to the top of the screen, and solo to the bottom of the screen.
As Peel's going to hand it off to his running back, Colton Skinner. Skinner will get a good 5 or 6 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Falcons.
And something to keep an eye on, because you've got the cool twins. You've got big number 71 at the center, and right next to him, guard, is his brother Caleb. And that first play went right through the A-gap, and they opened the hole up.
And second and about 4. Quick pass over to the right side. That is caught by Jamison Murphy, but Murphy is brought down by a host of Gonzaga Prep defensive backs, and that'll make it third and I'd say manageable. May have picked up a yard on that play, if that.
And I didn't catch the number of the Gonzaga tackler, but that was quite the open field tackle. Look at this. Initial contact, stopped and driven back.
I believe that is Jack Pierce, the senior at defensive back. He is going to be all over the place, and he is key for this Prep defense. As Colton Peel will keep it on the read option, gets to the corner and gets out of bounds. That's a quick first down for Ridgeline. Colton Peel, just a little bit of read option work between him and Colton Skinner.
Well, Coach Nate Graham, not Nate Graham, but David Myers for Ridgeline, he said he does like their team speed, and even though they're young, don't play tentative, play fast, and certainly quarterback was fast on that one.
So far, Ridgeline still sticking with the spread here in the pistol look. Peel will hand it off to Skinner. Skinner breaks a nice juke left, and he's going to be brought down after a beautiful gain of about 8 yards. Ridgeline kind of on the move here to start things off.
Well, once again, just like the prior run, a gap right between the Cool twins. Keep an eye on that left side.
And Skinner showing off the moves there. Had a Ren Jackson. I think Ren Jackson may have lost his footing a little bit, but either way, Ridgeline gets about 8 yards there. Looking at a 2nd and 2 here early in this drive. Officials making sure that everybody's on sides here, and they're going to throw a flag as it looks like it might have been a false start on the Falcons.
A lot of finger pointing, both sides.
Yeah, as it kind of looked like they were trying to make sure all the receivers were on the line of scrimmage, and at that point, I think the cadence may have gotten messed up there, or some sort of timing, because we saw quite a few people jump off sides there, or false start, I should say, for Ridgeline.
And that 5 yards is a big 5 yards. You go from 2nd and 1, you've got the entire playbook open. Now you've got to be a little more selective in what you do here and think situational rather than maybe going for the big play.
2nd and 7, Peel going to boot to his right. The throw is caught. Great catch by Jamison Murphy. Murphy's got both catches so far for the Falcons. The junior, 5'10", about 170 pounds, but he went up and high-pointed that ball.
And a very nicely thrown ball. This does not look like a quarterback who's making his first varsity start. And also note, center Colton Cool, his helmet came off, so he's got to sit out for a play.
Well, Colton Peel, I mean, these Ridgeline Falcons are looking to respond after a one-play touchdown score on offense for the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. But now Ridgeline, they have crossed into Gonzaga Prep territory, looking at a 1st and 10 at the 49 in Bullpup territory. Here's Peel in the pistol, drops back, going to throw it over to the sideline. It's just over the outstretched arms of his receiver, Kyson Olsen, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, good job by the defender there, Matthew Getahunt, and I hope I pronounce that properly. But keeping the receiver pinned to the sideline, that was a back shoulder throw, but just simply ran out of sideline. There was nothing there. That was well defended.
Yeah, and I will tell you what, these defensive backs are senior laden. There's one junior for the Bullpups, but you will see them all over trying to go ahead and stifle this Falcons passing attack as Colton Peel is a halfback draw. Gives it to Skinner, and they do get about 3 yards on the gain, so it'll be 3rd and 7 for Ridgeline.
Every time between the hash marks, or between the tackles, when Ridgeline is run, they're going after that A gap on the left side.
Well, that was snuffed out by Aiden James and a few Bullpups that were able to stay home there. Really well executed draw play, but the Bullpup defense was there to stop it. Looks like a hard count. Peel going to drop back. He's got pressure, and he's just going to have to throw that one away. It looked like it may have even been trying to screen pass there. The pressure applied by Will Jackson, the middle linebacker for Gonzaga Prep, and he's going to be all over the field as well for this G-Prep defense.
Yeah, untouched. Colton Skinner, the running back, was in the area, so that wasn't why it was no intentional grounding is called, but Gonzaga Prep finally gets their stop, and they'll get the ball back.
So after that 3rd down stop, Jack Pierce is back to return. The punter for Ridgeline is Jamison Murphy. Oh, actually, excuse me, it was not Murphy. But here's Jack Pierce looking to make something happen. Trying to, some really good punt coverage there by Ridgeline, though. As it looks like Jack Pierce may have got a few yards from the return as they will set up in their own territory at about the 20-yard line.
So for Ridgeline, head coach David Myers, he's got the positive for Ridgeline. Roughly 6 minutes of ball control against Gonzaga Prep, and they moved the chains, got multiple 1st downs. That penalty affected them, the negative yardage play, but that's the positive to build on with a very young team.
All right, here's the Prep offense back on the field as man in motion, a little triple option, trying to get it up the inside, and man, just hassling his way all the way for a first down. That was, looks like running back Nico Alexander. Oh no, excuse me, that was Jimmy Granger.
Yep, number 24, Jimmy Granger.
As Granger took it right up the gut and refused to go down, got about a gain of 12 yards on that play.
Drug about 3-4 defenders with him. That is classic Gonzaga Prep offensive football.
Here's the Bullpups again. A little speed option to the left. He's going to go ahead and lateral it out to Jonah Keller, as Keller will get a really nice game there for the Bullpups. About down, they're going to mark him past the first down line. So 2 plays, 2 first downs for G Prep.
One up the gut and one to the edge. This is why Gonzaga Prep, they're so difficult to defend against. And then you start overplaying and overthinking the run, and they can pop you on the outside or deep down the field on a pass for a big play.
Exactly what I was thinking is Sam Kincaid will go ahead and keep it himself. He's still running. He's got enough for another first down, and he gets about 15 yards on that play as just chunk gain after chunk gain for the Bullpups.
And that's what this is. Just no answer right now for the Ridgeline defense.
And you also have to look at this Bullpups line. They're senior, junior, senior, senior, senior. One junior starting right now for the Bullpups on that offensive line, as they have really controlled the line of scrimmage here in these first couple plays. And right through the middle, that was Granger again. About an 8-yard gain, so it'll make it 2nd and 2 for Gonzaga Prep.
So Ridgeline, if you look at their starters, they start 5 seniors, 6 juniors. Young team.
Very young team.
And you go the other side of the ball, they start 2 seniors, 8 juniors, and 1 sophomore. So we talked about this team is green. That is for certain.
Yep. As Sam Kincaid going to go ahead and try and throw it this time. See if the Falcons can get any pressure on him. Looks like they do, and they will be in the backfield. A tackle for loss. Looks like the first one to him was number 57, Jace Knoll.
Now, I think that's one for the film rooms for Kincaid, because downfield it was well defended. You're trying to escape the pocket. At that point right there, just sail the ball beyond the chains, out of bounds. You had a receiver in the vicinity, and don't take the negative.
That was also Tyson Kelly helping bring down the quarterback. So make it 3rd and 6. Fake handoff, pitch out to the right. Here's Jonah Kelly. Oh, on his feet, still going. Nico Alexander almost got her to the goal line. Nice open field tackle there by the Ridgeline defensive back, but not before the Bullpups get a big gain for a first down. Nico Alexander just breaking tackles, would not be denied until the very end. A little shoestring tackle there at the end.
The counter pitch, fake the dive to the left side, do the pitch to the right side, and again, all that green space and off to the races.
Just about 8 yards to pay dirt. 1st and goal for the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. Handoff up the middle. Going to kick it out to the right, and he is just a little bit short, about 2 yards short. That was number 24, Jimmy Granger.
And normally we're used to seeing Granger straight up the middle of the A-gap, and he decided to bust that outside. Well defended by Ridgeline.
Yeah, Granger was trying to, looked like he was trying to follow some blockers, but he really only had one in front of him, and then Ridgeline was there to make the stop. Now it's 2nd and goal from about the 3-yard line. Kincaid going to give it back to Granger. Granger can't kick it outside. This time, a whole host of defensive players for Ridgeline brings him down for a loss.
Unless there's a negative yardage play, I got to believe if you're Gonzaga Prep, you're thinking 4-down territory. Now, with the ball on the right hash, 2 plays going to the right side, there is all kinds of green grass out there at the top of the screen. So I'm going to look them to go to the left side of the field.
Credit Braxton Dickerhoof for that tackle for loss. Kincaid going to roll out over to the left side. Oh, through his hands. That was a for sure touchdown, but unable to connect Nico Alexander. just maybe a lack of focus. He was wide open. Sometimes those are the hardest balls to catch.
They are, because that ball was thrown softly, and you're waiting for it to get there, and he just took his eye off the ball at the last minute. Kincaid could have run that ball in himself, but he made the right decision on that RPO play. Get the ball to the open receiver. He's already in the end zone.
As that'll bring out the kicker for Gonzaga Prep, Paul Davidow, who boots it up and through the uprights to make it a 10-0 Gonzaga Prep lead. When we come back, we will have more high school football action here on SWX, a 10-0 Bullpup lead. We'll be back right after the break. High school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Findlay Downtown Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. And by Top Dog Plumbing and Drain. Locally owned and operated, our pledge is to bring you unmatched service and expertise for your home or business. Don't settle for a good dog, go for the top dog. As we are back out here, Gonzaga Prep High School, the Bullpups off to a 10-0 lead over the Ridgeline Falcons. Noah Schmick alongside Mike Peterson here in the booth. And Mike, we just saw a pretty good defensive stop on the goal line for Ridgeline. They've got to be happy about that.
Well, especially early in the drive when they were getting gashed defensively, offensively, just running through it. 3 straight plays.
Yep.
10 plus yards, 3 straight first downs, and then they really stiffened up in the red zone and were very physical.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what kind of momentum, maybe motivation that brings out for the Ridgeline offense. And, hey, the Falcons were able to kind of drive down there into Gonzaga Prep territory, so don't count out Ridgeline just yet. Only a 10-point deficit, as this one will be kicked out into the goal line, so we will start from the 20 for the Ridgeline Falcons as Colton Peel comes back out for the Ridgeline offense. And really, yeah, like I said, orchestrated a pretty good drive on his first time at quarterback here for the Falcons. Again, a young team, but I mean, what of a better, trial by fire to kind of throw someone into it and say, hey, you're playing Gonzaga Prep here week 1. You're going to learn a whole lot.
At home, and Gonzaga Prep in the GSL, they just don't lose games. It's been over 2 years since Gonzaga Prep had a loss.
So here's Peel, going to give it to his running back, Colton Skinner. Looks like Skinner's not going to get a whole lot there, maybe a yard.
Well, I think a defensive adjustment's been made there. It's tighten up the A-gap, get low, shoot the A-gap, which is exactly, and get underneath both of those Cool brothers so you don't get stood up.
And if you heard us last drive when Gonzaga Prep was out there, they've got a bunch of senior linemen. This offensive line for the Falcons is sophomore, junior. So they are a young group, but they're going to look to get some push. As it looks like Peel will keep it himself on the read option, stays on his feet, and will get a first down. Great run there by Colton Peel.
I'm impressed. This does not look like a first varsity start for this young man. His passes, they've been on the money. His decision-making's been really good.
And we're going to have to watch this replay here as two Gonzaga Prep defenders just kind of arm tackling. You know, you got to bring him down. And they don't. That's a first down. So here's Peel. He's got two to his left, two to his right. Wide receivers. Going to have one in motion. That's Jamison Murphy. Going to try and get it on the jet touch pass, but what a great stop there. Jack Pierce comes and gets him for a tackle for loss.
Jack Pierce, 6'1", 180, another one of these seniors. He just explodes with his tackles, goes low, wraps up. Again, these are two textbook tackles we've seen by Jack Pierce so far in the game.
Yeah, the senior, 6'1", he's going to fly around. He actually got first-team All-GSL defensive back last year, so there's quite a few Bullpup defensive players with a lot of first-team or second-team next to them from last year. So we'll see how this ends up. Second and long. Peel going to drop back and throw. It is caught. Great catch to get about 5 yards on the game. Jamison Murphy's been the go-to guy for Colton Peel.
And that's good management there. You've got the negative yardage play. Take what the defense gives you, make it a more manageable third down, 3rd and 8. Rather than incompletion, you're looking at 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14.
Yeah, that Jamison Murphy, he is going to be all over the field as well. The guy that's guarding him is Jack Pierce. And so we've seen a lot of number 5 on Gonzaga Prep's defense and a lot of 18 on the Ridgeline offense so far in this one. 3rd and 8, I'd say. Dropping back, got a lot of pressure. He's going to try and roll out. He's going to throw it. He was behind the line of scrimmage, but, they're going to go ahead and throw the flag anyway, so we'll see what they end up saying.
I was watching the flight of the ball, so I did not see the end of the play, what happened over there on the far end of the field. We'll find out soon enough.
We'll have to see what the head referee, the white cap, has to say here.
Jack Pierce was flying in.
Oh, we did have a roughing the passer call. I was also watching the ball, so that'll be a first down for Ridgeline as our head referee, Tyler Ziff, making sure that we get the call in. We didn't get to see, like we said, we didn't get to see the end of the play there, but that's a first down for Ridgeline.
Yeah, Jack Pierce was flying in from the safety position, and if he didn't slow down, that possibly could be him. Cannot verify that.
Well, that's a first fresh set of downs here for the Ridgeline Falcons at the 50-yard line. Makes a man in motion. Looks like the big tight end for the Falcons. Peel hands it off to Colton Skinner. Skinner trying to get around the edge. He bounces off one tackle, and I think it's about 5 or 4 yards. Good first down play for the Falcons. You see Skinner there. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, we have been talking all about how good this G Prep defense is, but to bounce off these tacklers, it takes a lot for these Ridgeline kids to do that.
Ridgeline came ready to play. They are not intimidated. They're playing fast, and they're playing physical.
We are about a minute and a half here left in the first quarter. Peel going to keep it himself. Keeps it going. He's going to try and follow a blocker, but he gets the first down. And so now the Ridgeline Falcons have moved into Bullpup territory looking for an answer.
And this is a new look offense for Ridgeline because they've been so pass heavy. It's throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, and then run when you need to. This is a very balanced run-pass offense.
As Colton Peel just kind of saw, that defensive end probably caved in to try and go towards the running back, and he read that perfectly and just followed where the guy left.
And this is what head coach David Myers wanted. He's the head coach, he's the offensive coordinator, he's the quarterback coach.
Here's Peel, going to give it off to Skinner. Skinner following his blockers, about a 2 or 3 yard gain up the middle. Ridgeline just taking what they can get right now. Makes it 2nd and 8. Ball at the 33-yard line.
Which would be a 50-yard field goal. And what we've seen from the kicker, Jamison Murphy, we're already in field goal range.
Yeah. So we'll have to see how this goes. Still second down, though. Peel gives it off to Skinner. A little bit of halfback misdirection, and he's almost going to get the first down. We'll see where he marks the ball. I think he may have been a yard short.
That appears to be the spot. So we'll be third and less than a yard.
So third and short here, and we will go to the end of the first quarter. Second quarter of action when we come back between Gonzaga Prep and Ridgeline. 10-0 Bullpups on top when we come back. Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. As we're back out here at Gonzaga Prep High School, get ready for those students to start making some noise. We've got a third down, pivotal here in Bullpup territory as the Ridgeline Falcons are looking to convert on about a 3rd and 1 here, deep into Bullpup territory. Mike Peterson, what are they going to do? You think a read option?
I'm thinking A-gap, left side. I'm thinking it's time to use the Cool brothers up front.
Looks like that's what they do. Skinner goes right up the middle, and he's got more than enough for the first down as Ridgeline converts on the 3rd, and they will have it 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Originally, the running back was going to the A-gap, and it collapsed in, which opened the B-gap between the center and the tackle, and there was a lot of daylight.
I am impressed by this Ridgeline offense. The line, I mean, sophomore, juniors, they're pushing G-Prep around, and right there, Skinner trying to get up the gut, and right as I say that, G-Prep wins the battle in the trenches.
And the umpire came in, threw a late flag right there in the middle, so we shall see.
We'll have to get the call from...
Is this if you're on the offense, is this a drive enhancer if it's against Prep, or is this a drive killer if it's against one of your linemen?
Definitely both ways. Yeah, this is a pretty big. I mean, you're within the 20-yard line in the red zone for Ridgeline. You cannot afford to backpedal here. And
well, the official is going to report to Ridge.
Oh, face mask on the offense. So that'll really back up Ridgeline.
That's a 15-yarder.
Yeah. So bring them way back. This is going to be a 2nd and very long.
From the 34.
Yep. So instead of first and 10 from the 19, you're 2nd and very long.
Yeah, because of penalty, no loss of down.
Yep.
Still, I would say from what I've seen with both these kickers, you're right on the fringe of field goal range.
Yep.
But of course, if you're Ridgeline, you're thinking touchdown.
Yeah, and you have to remember, because of high school rules, no loss of down, so it is 1st and long. And bringing him down, and no, they're going to say he got rid of it. I believe.
They are saying he was down, the knee was down.
Okay.
Getting the signal from the side, the knee was down before the ball was out of the hand.
Make it a sack by Luke Schmidt.
Boy, a 15-yard penalty followed by an 11-yard loss.
All of a sudden, they're all the way back to the. Oh my gosh!
This is, you know what? Your high school alma mater. This is 2nd down and distance to Freeman.
This is 2nd and all the way to maybe Cheney High School, as Ridgeline's got a lot to make up. They're just going to do a halfback draw. Gives it off to Skinner, and Skinner's going to try and get about 5 or 6 yards. Still make it 3rd and very, very long.
Or to get the geography right, this field is oriented, as you're looking at on camera, west to east as you go left to right. So that would be
Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene?
2nd down and Ridgeline.
There you
High
go.
school.
2nd and Ridge. There you go. So make it a 3rd and very long from about the 39-yard line. They've got to get to the 9-yard line to convert for a 1st down. And they will look to the air and picked off. On his way, Jack Pierce is going to take this one to the house. Jack Pierce says, look what I found. Touchdown, Gonzaga Prep. As Colton Peel was under duress, he had a man in his face as soon as he threw that ball, and I do not think he even saw Jack Pierce when he threw that one over to the sideline.
Yeah, and it looked like a go route on the outside, but because of the contact, that ball came up short, and Pierce, what a ball hawk. That guy is having a game.
The first team all GSL defensive back from last year. Let me tell you, he is going to be a problem in the Greater Spokane League once again this year. A pick 6 to make it 16-0 and possibly 17 after this extra point.
Oh, what I'm seeing right now, Pierce keeps this up. He's got a lot of Saturday football in front of him at the next level.
And that kick is good through the uprights, make it 17-0. Gonzaga Prep on top here early in this one after the pick 6 from Jack Pierce. He just found that one and went for it.
That was clearly a misread. So that's one of those young mistakes. Receiver on a go route, and quarterback was thinking, okay, it's probably a stop route. Pierce wasn't fooled.
Joining the Inland Empire Football's Officials Association allows you to participate in the community, have flexibility in scheduling your games, receiving timely payments, and experience network and advancement opportunities. Organized training is provided for you. Your chance to be on the field is a QR code click away at IEFOA.com. We hope you'll decide to join us. And let me tell you, that is one of the best seats in the house if you're an official, getting to see something like that, a pick 6 and getting to, put your hands up in the air for the score. Those officials, they are so needed.
And speaking of officials, the white hat that was shown on the screen, you have a little history with that gentleman.
Yeah, that's my old middle school head coach, Tyler Ziff, and he is a big part of the East Side officials over here for WIAA, as that kick will go out of bounds. Tyler Ziff, he's always been a great ambassador of football and the game of football, and he also has a lot of college experience. He was actually calling a lot of college games, he told me, some Eastern Washington, some Washington State games as a ref, and it's fun to see some of those refs out there and get to know them.
He's a really good one, and nice seeing him just work his way up the ranks. He does a really nice job.
Well, let's get you back here to the action. So Ridgeline will get the ball at the 20 after the touchback, looking to respond. They drove down the field on both of their drives. Their first 2 drives, they drove down into Bullpup territory, but the drive stalled both times, and of course, a pick 6 on the last one. So we'll see how Colton Peel handles this next one. They'll give it off to Skinner. Skinner, a little halfback off tackle, and get about 5 yards. So Colton Skinner, he's been the workhorse behind center, and he's done a good job so far. That'll make it a 2nd and 6 for Ridgeline. Peel with Skinner in the backfield. They've got 3 wide receivers to the right and 1 to his left. He'll take the snap. Quick throw over to the right. That's Jamison Murphy. Murphy is going to be tackled for a loss. There is some laundry on the field, though.
Yeah, number 80, Henry Rogers, another junior in the wide receiver position. That was a hold in the open field. That'll be a spot foul and go back, since we're outside the 20, go back 10 yards. So this will go to roughly the 14-yard line.
So some major differences here between the NFHS versus the NCAA holding foul rules. So holding fouls are now enforced from the previous spot, not the spot of the foul. So
I was off a yard, 15-yard line, but here we go. 2nd long again for Ridgeline.
And here's Colton Peel still in the backfield with Colton Skinner. And a bad snap, and he is going to be falling down, so that'll be a sack technically on the play and bring up a 3rd and very long.
I give the sack to the yellow soccer line on the field back there in the pocket.
Yeah, I think the turf monster may have got him, but also not a great snap, so makes things a little tough when you can't even get the ball to you.
It happens. I've been a victim of the turf monster.
We got a lot of Coltons. We got Colton Peel, Colton Skinner, and Colton Cool. As it's going to be Skinner getting the ball on the quick out, but don't worry about it because the Gonzaga Prep defense is there, specifically the senior at Mike linebacker Will Jackson.
All 6'2", 220 pounds.
He was not letting him go anywhere.
Yeah, going against what, 5'10", 175?
Yeah, he's going to win that every time. So Will Jackson brings him down on the 3rd and long. That makes it 4th down and very long, and you got to be careful here because you're punting in your own end zone.
3 straight negative yardage plays for Ridgeline.
All right, so we'll see as they're trying to make sure. Oh, we got a timeout.
Yeah, there was only 4 seconds on the play clock, so they didn't want another, say, 5-yard delay a game, make this punt that much more difficult.
So tune in to SWX tomorrow as the 11th ranked Idaho Vandals kick off their home schedule when they welcome the St. Thomas Tommies to the Gibby Dome. Our coverage starts at 1 o'clock. It's Idaho Vandals football live tomorrow only on SWX, your home for local sports.
And interesting fact, St. Thomas, they've been a Division III, not 2, but 3 powerhouse for years. They just made the leap to the FCS this year.
Yeah, and they're in that Pioneer Conference, I believe, where they don't have scholarships. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, St. Thomas, like you said, been a powerhouse in Division III. Going on the road to Idaho, as we saw the Vandals play very close. Almost came away with a win in Pullman in their season opener. And another little fun fact, they are the Fightin' Taters tomorrow. So it's Ag Appreciation Day in Moscow. They've got a Fightin' Taters helmet.
I did see that helmet. Yes, create quite a buzz.
I love it. I love it. So we'll have to see if they incorporate some famous Idaho potatoes in there or what they end up doing. But back out here to Gonzaga Prep as Ridgeline trying to kick it out of their own end zone. And the punt is away. Almost got blocked. But on the return here, Gonzaga Prep going Jack Pierce. He's broken a few tackles. He keeps breaking tackles. He will finally be stopped, but not after a lengthy gain all the way into the red zone. I think he got stopped at about the 18, 19-yard line, so a great return by Jack Pierce. I mean, great special teams by Gonzaga Prep.
Well, and look at the two defenders. They ran into each other, avoided a roughing the kicker. What has Pierce not done tonight other than run the ball on offense?
I mean, a pick six. I mean, this guy is everywhere, and that was Jacoby McClelland and Will Jackson who almost were able to block that punt in the Ridgeline end zone. Ran into each other, so, I mean, almost got there, but doesn't matter. Jack Pierce still gets him down to the 18-yard line.
Jack, do it all, Pierce.
So, and I mean, they don't need him even on offense. That's the best part for Gonzaga Prep. They've got so many talented players. He's not even on offense as a starter. He's a defensive guy.
No, and you look at his speed, his ability to run with the ball. If they needed him on offense, they could certainly put him in there and give him some reps. But as you said, not needed, Noah. Not
needed at all. So 17-0 right now, Gonzaga Prep over Ridgeline. When we come back, we'll have more high school football action right here on SWX. High school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Titan Truck Equipment. Northwest family-owned. Outfit your truck by visiting us in Spokane Valley and follow Titan Truck on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And by ServPro of Spokane County. If your home or business is ever damaged by fire, water, or an unexpected incident, trust the pros at ServPro of Spokane County to make like it never even happened. And right as we come back, it looks like it's going to be a touchdown pass. Sam Kincaid to Jonah Keller on the sideline. Coming right back out from our break, and they beat us to it. That's how quick Gonzaga Prep is able to score. But we'll see as our white hat's coming out here to make sure everything's all good. Maybe did they work a little too quick? Oh, after the play. So we have an unsportsmanlike conduct on Ridgeline. So that'll be enforced on the kickoff. So still make it 23-0 after the Kincaid to Keller touchdown pass. That's two touchdown catches, I should say, for Jonah Keller.
And you have the option. You can take the penalty now or administer on the kickoff. They're just going to take the 1 point instead of going for two.
On the kickoff. So after that extra point, make it 24-0. Gonzaga Prep, as their defense has been the factor in the complete game changer, I should say, because Ridgeline's been driving down, but this was a quick pass and catch right over the top. Yeah, that's too easy.
Secured the ball, crossed the end zone, and there's your late hit.
Well, this portion of the game is brought to you by Perfection Tire and Auto Repair. Nobody beats perfection. As Gonzaga Prep able to get out to a sizable lead here in the second quarter. We've got just under 8 minutes left to play in the first half. What surprised you so far, Mike Peterson?
Well, initially is the fight in Ridgeline and their offensive scheme. They wanted to be balanced, and they've been doing well. What has now impressed me, Gonzaga Prep doing what they do, ground and pound, but yet they've mustered 2 passing touchdowns, the pick 6, the field goal. We have yet to have a rushing touchdown for Gonzaga Prep, but they've really tightened up on defense. They're successfully guarding that A gap, taking that away from Ridgeline, and now it's just multiple negative yardage plays for Ridgeline. Ridgeline has to start moving the ball.
Yeah, well, one thing I could definitely say is Gonzaga Prep, and their culture and everything, they are executing. They have not once had to bring out the punter, and they have pretty much driven down into Ridgeline territory and scored in all sorts of ways, including on defense. So here's the kick, a little onside squib, but it will be handled by Ridgeline, and they will have good field possession to try and get down and get an answer here with 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the first half.
And even though the score's 24-0, that's fair with that 15-yard penalty. You're in position, try the onside kick. See if you can't get the ball back. That's not rubbing it in. That's situational football right there. Now, if it's second half and you're up big, you're just going to kick it through the end zone.
As Ridgeline will come back out in their offense, still in that spread look here. We'll see if he gives it off to Skinner, and he does. Colton Skinner trying to get some room, but he can't. Brought down by the Gonzaga Prep big defensive lineman. I think Will Jackson was in on that one. I'm pretty sure Luke Schmidt was in there. There was a few G-Prep defensemen. Colton Skinner, he has had lanes to run, but every once in a while he'll try and follow a blocker, and sometimes it's just, size will outmatch the other size. So,
yeah, when you kick to the outside, initially you start, say, to the A gap and then kick to the outside, try to catch the edge. That's a tall order against this Gonzaga Prep defense as the ball goes through the hands.
Yeah, it looked like a little designed screenplay there, trying to get it back out to Skinner on the far sideline, but unable to connect, and that'll make it a 3rd and about 8 yards for the Ridgeline Falcons inside their own territory as well. So
let's see what kind of heat Gonzaga Prep brings, because they've really dialed up the pass rush.
Yeah, I think on that last one, of course a designed screenplay, but you had Nehemiah Arietta was in the backfield. There was all sorts of Bullpups rushing the quarterback as Peel drops back, going to throw it deep down the sideline, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of the defensive back, Jacoby McClelland.
And we have someone on the chain crew that got flattened over there. I hope that person is okay. He got run over.
Yeah, that did not look good. And
no.
We also have a flag down on the play as well. So,
well, that was a late hit out of bounds, and I'm sure that's what it was. And
we'll have to make sure.
A member of the chain crew went down hard.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate here early in this one, as it looked like Colton Peel was trying to get it down the sideline, but
this is a good sign.
Yeah.
Getting up on his, at least sitting up on his own.
There was a whole lot of traffic on that sideline, and that's scary when you're in the chain crew and you don't see someone coming.
Nope, you get blindsided, and they have pads and they've got speed, and you're just standing there, sitting duck.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully get him some water and make sure everything's all good. But I guess for Ridgeline, Mike, looking into the greater scheme of things here, you've got 6 minutes, under 6.5 minutes left here in the first half. I'm sure Coach Myers is telling his team, hey, we got to go down and score and probably just keep some momentum going into halftime. That's got to be the biggest thing, is try and get some points. That's going to be, as it looks like our chain member is okay. Had a little bit of help trying to get up, but that's a tough.
Yeah, but 4th down with this field position,
yeah,
you have to punt away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford, especially when you've got roughly 8 yards to go.
Yeah. And also on that last play, that was first time you've said the name Jacoby McClelland. He is a first-team All-GSL corner last year. He was stellar for the Bullpups on defense, and that was the first time we've seen, of course, Ridgeline try and throw it downfield, and Jacoby McClelland was right there and just about had a pick as well.
Yeah, and what he did, and we've been seeing this from the cornerbacks, and this is also, I believe, a bit of inexperience with the Ridgeline receivers. Ridgeline's receivers are floating to the sideline. You want to throw to the outside shoulder, but if you're standing by the sideline, there's no throwing window.
There's no outside shoulder.
And if you nope, the outside shoulder is out of bounds.
Yep.
And so you've got to be strong as a receiver and not let the defensive back push you against that sideline. So you need that, what they call that cushion to the outside. And if a quarterback tries to finesse it in, oftentimes they'll throw it inside. Defensive back has a position, turns inside, the ball's right in the breadbasket, and you just threw a pick.
Well, a good reminder here, tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. As it looks like we have our chain gang member sitting on the bench, and they're talking to him, making sure he's all good, and they probably got someone else to come out and run the chains for him, and everything is all settled now, so now all to do is left a punt here for Ridgeline. We have, I believe, Jonah Martins, or excuse me, that is Braxton Dickerhoof, and he just gets it off.
I believe the defender got a piece of that one.
I think so too. As Dickerhoof had a whole bunch of pressure on that punt, but he did get it down to about the 35. Oh, yeah, I think he may have.
Left hand. Yeah, and you can see the way the ball came off. Set a spiral, it had that side spin.
And, I mean, where has Jonah Keller not been? That was on special teams. He comes and almost gets it. Jonah Keller already has 2 touchdown catches, and he's trying to block a punt while he's at it.
Tell you, Gonzaga Prep, they are loaded. A lot of players who can make big plays, and that's what wins you GSL titles and state championships.
So the Bullpups back on offense now. Sam Kincaid's going to keep it himself, but some good defense there by, looked like on the play, we had all sorts of Ridgeline defenders that came in trying. Jared Jones was one of them. We also had, I mean, just everybody was all over. Camden Arnold for the Falcons. They played some good defense there on that option play.
Something to watch for, and oftentimes we'll see it third quarter, definitely in the fourth quarter, when you have a senior team with experience playing against a team with underclassmen, a year older, a year more on weights, fatigue factor.
And Jonah Keller will get that option out to the corner, but another good stop there by the Ridgeline defense. Keller unable to get to green grass and was tripped up after about a gain of 2. Make it 3rd and 7. See Keller, he did that motion man, the wide receiver, but gets kind of tripped up there. Way to get the outside leverage there by the defensive back, Joel Carver.
And unless there was a flinch, that was a hard count. We'll see if they got Ridgeline. That
looks
is
like
a
it.
Senior move for Kincaid, doing the hard count. 3rd and 7 now becomes 3rd and 2.
So 3rd and manageable after 2 great plays by the Ridgeline defense to hold them. Now makes it 3rd and manageable for Gonzaga Prep.
Experience versus inexperience on that one.
Kincaid going to give it off up the middle and keeping his feet and getting a first down. That was number 25, Andrea Great Agata, the senior running back. I mean, again, another senior for the Bullpups. They've got a whole bunch of them, especially in that platoon of running backs. Agata still in the backfield behind Kincaid. And this time Kincaid's going to pass. He's going to throw it deep down the sideline. And it is just in and out of the hands, kind of bobbled up and down.
Dylan Kroll was the intended receiver. That ball was right on the money. Just very well defended by Ridgeline.
Yeah, give Jamison Murphy some credit there, the defensive back. He was kind of on an island out there and able to at least kind of, put a hand up there. Great defense.
That's great. And 6'3". Kroll is 6'3".
Yeah, Dylan Kroll, and that'll make it a 2nd and 10. Kincaid going to keep it, and the Ridgeline Falcons are in the backfield still trying to get him down, and he's still going to end up getting about 2 yards on the play. That was Kincaid just being shifty going back and forth there.
That's a good 5-6 yards on his own. Go turn a 4-yard loss into a 2-yard gain. That was a great personal effort.
I think there was about 3 or 4 Ridgeline Falcon defenders in the backfield, but they were just, they could not corral the senior quarterback, and now makes it a 3rd and 8. So here's Kincaid out of the pistol. Motion man. He's going to drop back, and he is sacked. Great defensive effort by Braxton Dickerhoof to get to the quarterback before he could throw it on the play action. As Ridgeline, a big-time sack, because they need to answer quick with about 3.5 minutes left to play in this first half.
Now, Dickerhoof, good, one of these juniors, 6'2", 200. Now, how often do you see this? You play wide receiver on offense and D-line on defense.
That is a big athletic man right there. As Dickerhoof pretty much came untouched on that one and able to wrestle down the quarterback Kincaid before he could throw it away. So here's the punt by G Prep, kind of off the side of the punter's foot. It will take a friendly bounce for the Bullpups, but it'll be downed at about the 21-yard line. So with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left, we'll see if Ridgeline can put up a score here in the first half. This is a crucial drive, I feel like, for Ridgeline. Get a little bit of motivation, get a bit of good vibes getting into halftime. G Prep's been executing. That was their first time we've seen the punt unit for Gonzaga Prep.
Well, if you're Ridgeline, here's where you get a victory. If you can score in the 3-minute drill with 2:48 left, and remember, you're going to get the ball to open the second half.
So here's Peel. He's going to go ahead and just give it off to Skinner, but in the backfield very quickly is the second team all GSL defensive lineman, Nehemiah Arrieta. The senior, 6 foot, 215. I mean, this guy is a hoss coming off the side here. And he got in the backfield quick from the opposite side, too.
Well, this is where just that experience, the physicality, having a full season under your belt, the recognition.
So here's Ridgeline, about 2nd and 12 now. Looks like the Bullpups are going to bring some pressure, but able to bounce it outside and get a good gain here. Tony Rodriguez comes in for Colton Skinner. The junior, 5'9", maybe a little bit of a smaller frame than Colton Skinner, able to bounce it out off the tackle and get it to 3rd and manageable now.
Gonzaga Prep D, they stuffed the middle right between the tackles, bounced outside. Nice run and nice recognition of taking what the defense gives you by bouncing outside.
So here we are, 3rd and 3. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Rodriguez again trying to follow his blockers, but this time Gonzaga Prep will get the tackle for loss.
Now, if you're Gonzaga Prep, are you going to look at clock management and perhaps call a timeout so you can do your own 1.5-minute drill?
As you can see, Spencer Paulson just kind of comes in out of there to, oh man, I mean, a whole host of them. I mean, you also had Will Jackson going over the top there. They read that run easily.
And that is Gonzaga Prep using one of their timeouts. Stop the clock, see if you can't counter and score at the end of the first half. Very astute situational football.
Tune in to SWX next Friday night for more high school football when we head to the Spokane Valley for one of the biggest rivalry games of the season as Central Valley Bears and University Titans battle for the Greasy Pig. Our coverage starts at 7 p.m. It's the Bears and the Titans live next Friday night only on SWX, your home for local sports. That's always a fun rivalry game, the Greasy Pig.
Well, Noah, I know that very well. I was a U-High grad.
Oh, there you go,
And
the Greasy Pig.
yes, so loved playing that rivalry game.
That one will be at CV.
In football and also in basketball.
Those are
a lot of electricity.
Is it, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Stinky Sneaker? Is that
Yes.
Yeah, that's the basketball one. The greatest rivalry names here in the greater Spokane League. I love it. Especially the basketball ones. Stinky Sneaker, Rubber Chicken.
There's
Greasy Pig. I'm thinking of the basketball ones, but Battle of the Bell, of course, in football. Mount Spokane
that's a
Meade.
classic. Battle of the Bell.
Always
that
the best.
That is epic.
So here's Ridgeline. They decide to punt oh, man, the snap goes over the punter's head. He's going to have to try and get this one off. He does. Wow, what an athletic kick there by the Ridgeline punter to somehow get that one off. Braxton Dickerhoof, not only does he play D-line, but he somehow, with a miraculous punt.
I don't know how I got that away.
I don't either.
That's a Houdini punt.
And that snap went at least 10 yards over his head.
And he punts it with his left foot, and I think he's a right. I wonder if he plays some soccer.
I mean, that was impressive.
I believe he's a right-footed kicker.
and he had a bullpup barreling down on him too. And he was on the 1 yard line. So that was either you take a safety or you get your punt blocked, and instead he kicked it at least a 40, wherever that ball ended up, I didn't see.
50. That
50
ball
yarder.
went from the 1 yard line out to 49 yards
Jeez.
from the point of contact on the punt. And then extracurriculars by Gonzaga Prep. There was a push during the dead ball, flag 15 yards, so that's why they're starting on the 36-yard line.
Okay, so with 1:08 left, 24-0 G Prep up, but we'll see what the Bullpups decide to do if they, like you said, Ridgeline gets the ball back at halftime, so we'll see if they try and go down and score here in the 2-minute drill. Quick speed option out to the right side, and not too bad of a gain there, but he did get out of bounds. That was number 24, Jimmy Granger.
And now you've got the wide side of the field at the bottom of the screen.
So we'll see the clock stop, just a quick 4-second play to get 4 yards for the Bullpups. 2nd and 6 on the 40. And there's Jonah Keller. Keller is going to get enough for the first down and then some. Just making it look easy. That's what this Gonzaga Prep offense does.
He's speedy. You show that speed to the edge. Clock stop till the chains get set.
Because you got to respect Kincaid. If he kept it himself, he went up the middle, but there's Keller with that speed. So here we go. Kincaid looking to drop back, throws it over. There's Keller again. This time he catches it, and he makes a man miss. He's off to the races. Jonah Keller, his 3rd touchdown catch of the game. Wow. And just like that, not even 20 seconds after that drive, Jonah Keller scores, making it 30-0 right now over the Ridgeline Falcons.
Who would have thought Gonzaga Prep in the first half, 3 touchdown passes, and think of where they had to settle for a field goal. There was a 4th one, but it got dropped in the end zone. Yeah,
that's how good this G Prep team is going to be. We've already seen it. Just the first half of play, and after this extra point, they will have 31 points. And he boots it through the uprights. So 31-0. Gonzaga Prep on top of Ridgeline. We've still got 38 seconds left here in the first half, but a quick pitch and catch over the middle, and just let Jonah Keller do his thing.
And a little shake and bake after the catch, but what I like, he high-pointed it, caught with 2 hands, tucked quickly, avoided the defender, cut back, avoiding a crackback block there on the outside. That was very smart. That is smart fundamental football. And Keller to the races.
Make it 3 touchdown catches for Keller, 3 touchdown passes for Kincaid. Of course, we also know Jack Pierce on the other side of things has been all over for special teams, and of course the pick 6 on defense. So the seniors are doing their things.
This is a complete football team.
3 touchdown catches.
And they've got a great kicker, so in those situations where you need a field goal, you've got 50-yard, you can attempt 50-yard field goals. 35-yard line, you're in scoring range if you're Gonzaga Prep with that kind of leg.
And after getting to the semifinals of the state tournament, I'll tell you what, only week 1, so we can't, no overreactions yet, but I'll tell you what, this Gonzaga Prep team looks like they are back and going to be threatening to go far in the playoffs.
Davidow is fired up because on that one, he didn't only kick the ball into the end zone, over the top of the end zone. So 60 plus 10 plus another 2 or 3, that's 73 yards in the air on that kickoff.
So Paul Davidow, I actually got to talk to him earlier this week. He is a junior who played soccer for 13 years in Texas. His family moved to Green Acres, and now he is the prep kicker. And, he's got a boot on it.
Oh, my goodness, does he? Well, that soccer background, that explains it.
That will definitely help. As Ridgeline able to get a good chunk of yards there, as we have hit the 31-second mark here left in this first half. As we'll see what Ridgeline tries to do. Will they try and air it out and see if they can get some points on the board before the half? This Bullpup defense has been pretty stout, though, especially against the pass. And a little halfback draw as Skinner is going to try and get to a first down. I don't think he made it there.
And he's in bounds. This may run out the first half unless Ridgeline wants to take a timeout.
I think it's just going to run down. Yep, looks like it's running down. We'll see if...
Situationally, I don't see the point trying to go for it right now. I just say run it down, go into half, regroup.
As Gonzaga Prep has been all over the field on defense and really shown it all over in this first half of play. And as we wrap up and head to halftime, it is 31-0 Gonzaga Prep over Ridgeline. We'll be back with some halftime action here on SWX. Welcome to Halftime on SWX, brought to you by Community Colleges of Spokane, an education designed with life in mind. As we are back out here at Gonzaga Prep High School, it is a 31-0 Bullpups lead over the Ridgeline Falcons. And we've got to go through some of these scoring plays because they came quick and they came fast for Gonzaga Prep. Let's start here with this first one. Sam Kincaid, very first play from scrimmage, over to Jonah Keller, and he was off to the races. Quick throw out, too easy, all the way down, and he scores, making that an easy 7-0 lead. And then, well, things were going well for Ridgeline until Jack Pierce picks it off and takes it all the way to the house. That made it, well, actually, I should say, after a field goal, that made it 17-0.
Yes. And there you go, as you see Pierce the end zone. Now, recurring theme, Kincaid to Keller, little fade route in the back of the end zone. Second TD pass from Kincaid to Keller. Well, why don't we do the trifecta? Keller over the middle, from Kincaid, up the sideline, off to the races again, making it 31-0 going into halftime. Gonzaga Prep, 3 scoring touchdown passes in the first half. And you know what? Based on this output, Kincaid and Keller, I'm going right now. I have a special nickname for them.
What's that?
The Special Ks.
The Special Ks, I love it. All right, as we will come back here with more second half, or more halftime, I should say, here on SWX. We'll be right back. Well, it's time to take another look at tonight's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. And Mike, let's review these keys real quick.
So for Ridgeline, what is Next Gen Falcons going to look like? And what we have seen early on, they were very balanced. They came out with a lot of grit, a lot of fire, but this definitely, it's more of a rebuild, and you're got with a very young team against a very experienced Gonzaga Prep. you're gonna come away with some bumps and bruises. These are the kinds of games you just come out of it, you adjust, and you try to get better and perhaps win the second half. Now, Gonzaga Prep, nothing's broke. There's nothing to fix. And let's even add more passing to this offense. This is, they are, for the first game of the season, they are looking so impressive. They're coming out showing, hey, they want to dominate in the GSL, and they want to win a state championship. They play like this. They're on track.
All right, so don't fix it there for the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. We'll see what Ridgeline can do in the second half. We'll be back with more halftime on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented in part by P1FCU. Are you looking for a free checking account? P1FCU's Ascend Checking is free checking that can earn you dividends. Open your account at p1fcu.org. As we're back out here right now, the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups on top 31-0 over the Ridgeline Falcons. And my quick thought to you is the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups, their seniors are handling the young veteran, or the young core, I should say, of the Ridgeline Falcons. The G Prep Bullpups, they are 20 of 22 seniors starting on this team, and man, they have looked good so far. Halftime on SWX was brought to you by Community Colleges of Spokane, and education designed with life in mind. We'll be back with second half action after this. High school football on SWX is presented in part by your local McDonald's restaurants, proud sponsors of the McDonald's Team of the Week, featured every Friday night at 11:15 on NonStop Local KHQ during SWX Overtime, starting in mid-September. As we are back out here, Gonzaga Prep High School, the Bullpups on top 31-0 as we are just about set to start second half of action. And talking about those student athlete of the weeks in that read there, I think one of those is going to be Mr. Ren Jackson from Gonzaga Prep. And let me tell you, I came out here to one of their practices earlier this week, and I got to talk to Coach Nate Graham here in his second season with the Bullpups. And he goes, yeah, we have a lot of seniors. Yes, we're very veteran, a lot of experience. But let me tell you, these kids are also scholars. He goes up and down the board with these seniors, 4.0 after 4.0. I mean, they're smart as well. So don't just think, hey, these guys might be, just good at football. These are also great kids.
I love student athletes.
Student athletes, and this is what football is all about. And we've got to see what Ridgeline's all about. Like we said, they've been fighting. They've driven down the field multiple times, this Falcons offense has. Now, towards the end there, Gonzaga Prep really had all the momentum. But at least for the first couple of drives, Ridgeline has gotten into Gonzaga Prep territory. The thing is, they just aren't finishing yet.
That's it. They've moved the chains. They've gotten into Gonzaga Prep territory. And then these miscues, these negative yardage plays, a penalty here, and those are drive killers.
And this kick is not going to be, it will be a touchback. It looks like Ridgeline will decide to take it at the 20-yard line. Have to remember another difference between college and high school being
that's
where
you're going. Yes, so in high school, if the ball carries to the end zone, automatically a dead ball, and you get the ball on the 20-yard line.
So makes things easy to remember, and of course, college football as well. They bring it out to 25 now, right?
Yes,
Isn't that that's the difference? So
all
sorts.
And you can return it out of the end zone. Those are the two differences.
Yep, that too. So we will see Colton Peel back out at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to his running back, and I didn't see a number, but I'm sure it's Colton Skinner.
And there's a flag on the far side of the field.
Also got a flag down, so we'll have to hear from our head official who...
Well, it wasn't a dead ball foul, so it wasn't motion by the offensive line. Could be a misalignment by the defense.
Oh, hands to the face defense. So that'll back up the Bullpups and give Ridgeline some good field position.
You'll take the 15 yards.
Every single time. And I want to go ahead and correct myself. It was Colton Skinner. Colton Skinner is the running back out there. I wasn't sure if it was 25 or 26 in the backfield. So they've got the starters out here. Does Ridgeline. Colton Peel still in at QB. Going to go ahead and hand it off to Skinner one more time. But into the backfield quickly, but unable to bring him down was a G-Prep Bullpup from what looked like the middle linebacker position.
And look at that blue swarming defense. All those blue shirts, how they just fly to the football. Watch how this defense flies. I bet there's 7-8 shirts in there.
There's a lot. And I'll tell you what, it was Will Jackson, I was right, the middle linebacker that flew through there, couldn't bring him down, but it didn't matter because he got enough of cloth to stop him, and then, hey, just have all your buddies come and help you out.
Will Jackson, 6'2", 220. That's a stout linebacker.
He is a big boy down there in the middle of the defense, and he commands it as well. As Peel will peel out to the right, but the throw off target there to Jamison Murphy. Ridgeline's really been, besides, a few 10 to 15 yard throws to Jamison Murphy, the passing game has not been there like it has been in recent years for the Falcons.
No, and everything has been short and intermediate. They have yet to go for the big play down the field.
I think a lot of that might also have to do with this veteran, senior, first team, second team, all defensive GSL defensive backs. So
they have taken a couple shots, but they've not converted anything down the field.
So this brings up 3rd and 8. And a little motion man. Looks like it's going to be a quick screen play out to the right side of the field, but Skinner unable to get anything because Jamison Murphy was trying to block his man, but
Ren Jackson.
Yeah, Ren Jackson is there to take him down.
6'2", 190, blew up the block and got in, made the tackle. He did it both. He shucked the blocker, made the tackle.
So that'll bring out the punt unit for Ridgeline. It's about 4th and 4 for them, but there's no reason in trying to go for it.
And clean it up. Need a clean snap here. We remember what happened last time. This thing sailed.
Here's Dickerhoof, and man, just about got to him again, but a great punt. He's not going to fair catch it. Jack Pierce is going to go ahead and run it. He loses the football. And we'll see. I think G Prep may have fell back on it. But Jack Pierce was trying to be a little too shifty, and I think he forgot the ball with it.
He forgot the ball security. Got to keep that ball high and tight. A lot of times, players, if they're not thinking ball security, they'll shift, and when they shift, they'll get that elbow out. And then you get that elbow hit or a ball punched out, and you've got a turnover.
That would have been huge for Ridgeline to get the ball, but fortunately for the Bullpups, they were able to fall on it. So they'll bring up 1st and 10 from about the 24-yard line. Still in at quarterback. Kincaid's going to hand it off. Up the gut and around the corner, and he's still on his feet. Going is number 25. That's Andy Great Agata.
How's that for a first name? Andy Great.
Andy Great.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah, and he has been stellar coming in for the running back and being that number 1 sub right now. As Agata is still in the backfield, there's going to be a little motion, but then they stop it. So they'll reset here. 1st and 10. Kincaid gets it right back to Agata up the middle, and he is met. Pretty good tackle there by number 7. That was Grayson Siegel for Ridgeline. Siegel, he's a senior, one of the few seniors, I should say, on this Falcons defense. 5'11", 175. Able to stop Agata.
Gonzaga Prep offensively going with some of their twos.
Here's the handoff, a little jet sweep around the corner. Jonah Keller trying to get a little bit more, but he can't. Jamison Murphy, great open field tackle. Keller has been instrumental in this offense so far. Just a quick jet and gets around the corner, and that's another 1st down for the Bullpups.
Smooth runner, no wasted motion. Just one of those kind of glider type runners.
Also a great pass catcher, as it looks like we're going to have a false start, I think.
That was definitely a miscue.
Yeah. You can see number 17 for Gonzaga Prep. That's Dylan Crowell.
Just commented on how smooth he ran, and that was not so smooth.
Not so smooth. And Crowell, he puts his hands on his helmet, says, I knew that's on me. So
it happens.
We'll back it up. Be 1st and 15 now for the Bullpups.
Keller's wide right, top of the screen.
One man in the backfield, a little speed option over to Agata, who may pick up about 4 yards to make it 2nd and 11. But Andy Great Agata has came in for, there's so many different running backs that Gonzaga Prep can deploy. We've seen Nico Alexander. We've seen Jimmy Granger. Jonah Keller, of course, from the wide receiver doing a little motion. They've got a lot of weapons. As just right there, Keller was the motion man, so we'll see if they stick with that.
You just can't make a motion that simulates a snap.
And it'll be a different motion man this time. Kincaid will keep it on to the far side of the field. He gets about 7 or 8 yards, so it'll make it 3rd and manageable. Kincaid, that was Jimmy Granger, was a motion man on the other side. So,
and the way you're moving the ball situationally, Gonzaga Prep, if you end up 4th and short, you're probably thinking 4-down territory because you're just outside field goal range, and your defense has just been nails.
So here we go, 3rd and 4. Kincaid drops back. He's got pressure, and if pressure's going to get to him, a strip sack, and number 71 falls on it for the defense. Wow. What a great, that was Braxton Dickerhoof off the side, going ahead and getting that strip sack. And 71, the big boy,
Colton Cool
able to fall on it. So Ridgeline, that was huge for them.
Oh, that was massive. Look, off the edge, fast off the edge. Ball, it didn't have two hands on the ball, got knocked out. That is a great turnover for Ridgeline. These are the kinds of battles you want to see as a coach. You're down 31-0. You want your players to come out and battle.
Man, you see off that replay, Zach Cantor got beat bad on the left or right tackle, I should say. Braxton Dickerhoof got around and just poked that ball free. So Ridgeline now with the ball here, see what they can do with it. Peel, quick pass to Jamison Murphy, gets him about 7 yards, so nice quick catch.
And here comes another helmet off the head. And that's Caleb Cool, who lost his helmet.
And he did not lose his cool because number 13 for Gonzaga Prep on the defensive side of things was in his face.
And there is a flag right there. So I imagine with the helmet coming off, that's another 15 yards you can tack on for Ridgeline.
Yeah, and you can see the coach is not happy down there on the sideline talking to Nehemiah Areta. As Nehemiah is getting talked to, that's going to be a big-time penalty that will give Ridgeline a first down deep into Bullpups territory. So we'll see. I mean, take advantage of the turnover and get some good vibes, some good momentum here with 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Even if it's a field goal, you got to come away with points. Get that goose egg off the scoreboard. Get a little momentum in the second half.
As Peel will hand it off. I believe, Colton Skinner's still out there, and he is dragged down by a host of Bullpup defenders. Not much going there on that run. They start off the first play with a quick 7-yard pass, and they go back to the run game, but there was not a whole lot of green grass there as, man, all sorts of Bullpups were there. Great defense.
They've really swarmed to the ball defensively.
First time we've seen Eastside Vigil. He's a junior linebacker for the Bullpups. He was the first one there on that tackle. And here's Peel, dropping back, looking left. He's going to throw it. Another intermediate pass to Jamison Murphy, but Murphy can't hold on to it.
Little inside circle route there in the slot. Well defended.
Well, Murphy has been the go-to guy for Peel. They must have a pretty good rapport because other than, I think I remember one pass to Riley Owens or Kyson Olsen, it's been Peel to Murphy in the pass game for the Ridgeline Falcons. Murphy was actually one of the guys I got to talk to when I went to the Ridgeline practice earlier this week, and he basically said, hey, we're a young junior team. We're going to learn a whole lot this season, and you can see this is a learning moment for sure. The screen pass just over the outstretched hands of Henry Rogers.
And that ball was, fortunately for Ridgeline, the receiver touched the ball right about the line of scrimmage, because if that sailed over the head, guess what you have? Ineligibles downfield.
There you go, yep. And I think it was Nehemiah Arietta who was in the face of the quarterback. He is a big boy barreling down at you.
44 yards. Distance is not going to be an issue. This is all about accuracy and getting it between the uprights.
I think Braxton Dickerhoof is going to try this one. And we'll have a timeout by Ridgeline.
Actually, it is. It's number 87.
Yeah, so Dickerhoof, he was the one that got that punt away with his left foot, but you're right, he's a right-footed kicker.
So, yes.
he was at least ready to kick it with his right foot. So
ambidextrous.
Yes, with the legs. So we'll go ahead and take you to break here. 31-0, Gonzaga Prep on top. When we come back, we've got a 4th down for Ridgeline Falcons. Today's presentation of high school football on SWX is brought to you in part by Inner Demon Motorsports. Located in Hayden, Idaho, Inner Demon Sports, powered by Heatercraft, will keep you warm in your UTV or boat year-round. As we're back out here, Gonzaga Prep High School, as the Ridgeline Falcons are looking to remove the goose egg on the board. 31-0 G Prep on top, but Ridgeline was able to get a strip sack fumble. They fell on it, got into G Prep territory, but the Bullpups stopped them on 3rd down. So we'll see a 44-yard kick here by Braxton Dickerhoof.
Ball's pretty well centered.
Here's the kick. It is on its way, and it is good.
No doubt.
44-yard kick is good by Braxton Dickerhoof, and he's getting a little bit of a stretch. Probably just some cramping going on, but he's had to do quite a bit, both punting and kicking that 44-yarder. I'm wondering if he got that kick off and then said, "Oh, that didn't feel very good."
Oh yeah, and you can see right after he made the kick, it's he's been using his running muscles. Now he's using his kicking muscles, and when you see him reefing on a foot like that, you know it's not an ACL.
Oh, it's tough, and yeah, I'm sure it's just a cramp, because you saw his place kicker, the holder, Jamison Murphy, gets right as after that kick and went to his foot to try and help stretch it out. But we've got the trainers on the field helping out Braxton.
And this happens. The weather's been incredibly hot. It's your first game. Cramping in the second half happens constantly. And we may see more of this in the second half, given the heat wave we've been through.
Yeah, and something to talk about, too, which we didn't talk too much about earlier in this game, or actually at all, is the air quality as well. We were keeping an eye on that. I'm sure every school that was hosting a high school football game today did notice that it was a bit smoky out from some of these wildfires. Of course, it depends on the school district and what they go ahead and deem as, really bad air quality. So at least here with Paul Manfred, the athletic director for Gonzaga Prep, they said theirs is 150, that air quality index, and I think it was about around 100, maybe even a little less or so, which, of course, that's still not great, but they get to decide whether or not they call the contest off or not, and Paul said, let's go, and I think so far from after I left our SWX KHQ station, we were calling around to all the ADs saying, "Hey, are we still having football games on?" And we didn't hear of any cancellations of any football games. So the wildfire smoke not too bad today.
No, it's acceptable. Mm-hmm. If you're in the sensitive category, should probably stay inside.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And just like you said, we're in the second half here, just under 6 minutes in the third quarter. So you're going to start to see a little bit of fatigue set in. Both teams, for the most part, have kept their starters out. Kincaid and the rest of those Bullpups still had their offensive starters out. Of course, Ridgeline, they've got to get some experience with a lot of these juniors and sophomores that are playing for them. So expect to see them keep with the starters. As this kick does not go into the end zone, so returning it out for Gonzaga Prep, that's Nico Alexander.
Jamison Murphy kicking it 59 yards in the air.
59 yards, and
it's the first return we've had.
He's even getting a little bit of cramping going on too. As you saw Nico Alexander bring it out and get it to about 15. Good kick coverage for Ridgeline.
Well, especially these two-way players as well. That's a lot of reps out there.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of two-way players for Ridgeline.
And you're just not in mid-season form. Plus, you get that added adrenaline opening game.
So, 1st and 10 here from about the 17-yard line for Gonzaga Prep, and they're going to hand it off to their running back, Jimmy Granger, as Granger will get a good carry of about 5 yards on first down. So the Bullpups still with their starters out, and I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I mean, being up 31-3, you only the first game of the season, you got to start getting a rapport, start getting that team chemistry, everyone on the same page, and I mean, so far they look like they've been on the same page for sure.
They certainly have.
Jimmy Granger gets the handoff, but he is met by 2 or 3 Ridgeline Falcons for no gain, maybe a half yard. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4-ish.
If you're Ridgeline, you're thinking, hey, we just got points on the board. If we can get a 3 and out, get the ball back, we're starting to win this second half battle.
So they got the 3 points, and I mean that was crucial for them to just get some sort of rhythm going.
And this is what I was talking about. A young team, if you're a coach, yeah, you got to beat down in the first half, but if you can come out, the goal is to try to win a half.
As Kincaid gets it to his wide receiver, who breaks a few tackles, and he is gone. Number 17, that is Dylan Crowell, who almost got to the end zone. I said gone. Go ahead and you give me the announcer's jinx there. But Crowell just going ahead and getting out of, how many tackles did he break there?
Rangy runner. Look at that strike. Well, he is gone all the way down to the 20-yard line.
There you go. Yeah, the announcer's jinx there. Sorry about that one, Dylan. As Bullpups get a big chunk play there as they get down deep into Ridgeline territory to the 20-yard line.
We don't have official stats. Gonzaga's got to be well over 200 yards passing the ball tonight.
Oh, by far, as Kincaid gets it out to Nico Alexander for a good gain there.
Maybe 250. You think of all the big plays they've had. Just chunk plays.
Chunk plays, and
they might be closer to 300 than 250. It's up there.
That's what I was going to say. Probably closer to 300 after that one, because that was a big catch and run by Dylan Crowell, who gets tripped up.
And we have a Ridgeline player down there about the 10-yard line.
Hope he's okay, as he must have been in around the tackle as that play did go out of bounds on that side of the field. I don't see the number looking on the screen here, and I can't see him through my binoculars, so let's go ahead and while we're waiting, let's take a look at Ridgeline, the Falcons' upcoming schedule. Like we said, they're going to learn a lot this season with a lot of young talent. They will be playing against Cheney on September 12th, Lewis and Clark, Shadle Park at One Spokane. I mean, Ridgeline, they're going to learn a whole lot about themselves, definitely through this game, but against Cheney at home, their next game, and It'll be nice for them to, after a hostile environment here at Gonzaga Prep, they've probably learned a lot. They're playing against probably one of the best teams in the GSL, too.
In the state.
Yeah, in the state,
actually,
too. Yeah.
I mean, put them in the state. I believe the state rankings, G Prep is 8th in state rankings. I think you could make the argument they should be in the top 5, but regardless, you're talking a top 10 team in the state. G Prep, the gold standard. So you can really build on this. And also from a football perspective, doesn't matter what level, your greatest improvements tend to come in the first 3 weeks of the season. So we shall see how this plays out.
As Kincaid's going to hand it off up the middle. Probably got a pretty good gain there. That was number 24, Jimmy Granger.
And we'll be first and goal.
And yep, they do go ahead. So they'll be first and goal from about the 8-yard line here. G Prep looking to punch it in one more time. 3.5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Jonah Keller already with 3 touchdown catches. And I don't see I do see number 8 out there. He's on the right. We'll see. He will be the man in motion. No, he stops. So it is Kincaid back there with Granger. And he's going to hand it off to Granger, but we have a flag before the snap. Delay a game on the offense. And that's kind of what G Prep does. They do that kind of, not no huddle, but, take a second, look over, get the play from the sideline, and then sometimes you just kind of lose track of time. And, they do have that play clock that's right in front of them, so they probably should have saw that. But, yeah, Coach might not be too happy with that one.
So after the penalty, it's now a 25-second play clock.
Still first and goal, this time, though, from the, 12-yard line. Kincaid, he's going to give it to Keller. Keller, does he have the edge? He's going to try. He doesn't, though. Good stop there by the defense. That was Tony Rodriguez making sure that he ran out of bounds instead of over him. Keller, he's quick.
Just speed to the corner.
And
nice tackle.
Yeah, first one to meet him was Kyson Olsen, and then Tony Rodriguez made sure he didn't get in.
And knocked him backwards.
Yep. So, still a pretty good game, though. Makes it second and goal from about the 3-yard line, though. Kincaid going to hand it off. Up, and Jimmy Granger is taken down by a whole lot of Falcons. I don't even know if he got back to the line of he might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
And looks like a Ridgeline player shaken up there in the interior.
He tried to follow Jonah Keller into the end zone, but that was nothing doing there. There was 3 Falcons on him. Looked like it was.
That was number 6.
Yeah, Ryder Cross. He's the middle linebacker for the Falcons. So that'll bring in a new guy here for Ridgeline. We'll try and get that number. I think it's Colton Skinner came in for him. So here's Kincaid, third and goal. Going to drop back, roll out, right, all alone, touchdown, Gonzaga Prep. The quick pass over the middle on the boot to Nico Alexander will put the Bullpups up big here late in the third quarter.
4th touchdown pass of the game, yet to have a rushing touchdown. That's unheard of. That was what Ridgeline would do last year.
Yeah.
Pass, 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 pass.
I mean, your key to the game was if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, to be honest with you, they've just decided to be a whole different type of team.
Well, they're adding to what isn't even broke. So, and I'll tell you what, scouting Gonzaga Prep now, adding this kind of passing threat to your offense.
Oh, that's incredible.
Goodness.
Yeah, Nico Alexander was all alone, easy catch, and that time I can't remember if he was the first. Remember that first play where he rolled out, didn't catch it in the end zone, and they had to kick the field goal. Well, this time he gets his touchdown.
And you saw him lick the ball all the way in.
Yep. Gonzaga Prep, let's look at their upcoming schedule. They will take on Ferris for their next game, and that one will be at One Spokane Stadium. So we'll get the Bullpups and the Saxons at One Spokane Stadium on next Friday, next week, but they got Mount Spokane that next game, at Cheney. a terribly tough schedule for G Prep, but they will be on the road for a few weeks there until obviously coming back home against Mount Spokane. But
Yeah, after today, with the 10-game schedule, they'll have 5 home games.
Lewis and Clark, Shadle Park, you see that? Bullpups ready to kick this one deep, make it 38-3. G Prep on top as they have started to show their might and flex their muscles. And that one will go out of the end zone. So Ridgeline will try to do something here on offense to make a response. But again, this Ridgeline team, they're going to learn a whole lot from this game. And I like we said, and I keep harping on it, they did move the ball in their first couple series. They moved it down into Gonzaga Prep territory. I think the thing is, though, G Prep, you know, the endurance, just how big they are, they know, okay, now it's time, it's get-go time.
Physicality and adjustments.
And here's Colton Peel. Hands it off to the running back, and he's not going to get much there. The G Prep defense has been stout so far.
And I think this is the point in the game where you can start building your depth, give your starters, a lot of your starters a rest, and start bringing in some of your twos.
Yeah, Colton Skinner, still, I mean, Ridgeline still has all their starters out there, so they're trying to, you know, keep it going.
But I'm talking from a Gonzaga Prep perspective.
Yep.
Start building your depth and stay healthy.
So here's Peel. In the pistol, play action, going to boot right. Going to throw right. Jamison Murphy all alone. That connection has been solid for Ridgeline so far. The Peel to Murphy.
Won't quite move the chains. They got to get to the 30.
Boot play, I mean, and on the run too. Great ball.
Now you want to get the ball out a little sooner so you've got time for the receiver. Instead of you catching the ball, you're right at the sideline. Catch the ball, turn up the field, get additional yards after catch. That's the difference between 3rd and 1 and having a first down. These are the fine points in the passing game.
And a quick pass to a different receiver. So finally we get to see a different guy catching the ball. That's Kyson Olsen getting the first down catch on 3rd and 1. So that'll move the chains for the Falcons. Yeah, Peel, just a quick pass, a nice, you know, I guess we like to call that a curl or a sticks route. Just make sure you get beyond the sticks and get that first down. And Ridgeline kind of in a rhythm now here on offense. Late here in the 3rd quarter as time ticks down. Peel gives it to his running back, and he is stuffed by 2 Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. 3.
Yeah, Max Ramirez off the edge for Gonzaga just came in and blew that play up, untouched off the backside.
So Bullpup defense able to win that play, so we'll stick at 2nd and 10 here for Ridgeline. So we start to see a few subs come in for this Bullpup defense. Not many, though. I also saw Nehemiah Areta was in on that play as well. Here's Peel. He's going to have to throw it. A little screen pass. It is caught. And a big hit there by Jack Pierce coming in.
Fierce Pierce.
Yeah, Fierce Pierce for sure. That was Henry Rogers able to come up with that catch, but he wasn't able to go much of anywhere.
That is, more I think his helmet just hit the turf going down. That wasn't a helmet to helmet. That was helmet to turf.
And we will head to the 4th quarter of action. 38-3, Gonzaga Prep on top. We'll be back with more high school football action on SWX. High school football on SWX is sponsored in part by Pella Windows, your local windows and door experts to help make life brighter. And Dr. C Family Dentistry, complete care for every smile at every stage. It looks like we got kind of like a little, I wouldn't say a full moon. I'm not up to date on is it waxing, waning? I'm not 100% sure on that. But we got a nice, beautiful night here at Gonzaga Prep as the Bullpups are in command as we start the fourth quarter of action, 38-3. But Ridgeline, well, they have the ball, and they are looking to have an answer and hopefully put up a touchdown on the board. We'll see if the Falcons can do that. But they are sitting at 3rd and 8 here. 3rd and 8, Colton Peel in the backfield. Gonna take it, drop back, throw it deep over the top, and I think, yeah, we're gonna have a flag.
Yep, it looked like early contact from the defense.
As the receiver going out for that pass was number 81, Connor Long. Connor Long, he's a junior, 6 foot, 175. He kind of beat the defensive backs for the Bullpups, and I think that's what we'll get. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remember that.
Now, that is a difference in the college game or in the pro game, because it'll be 15 yards or a spot foul, whichever is more advantageous to the offense. I'd really like to see high school change out rule, especially the passing offense is getting so much more advanced now. I think that's a rule I think they should have changed 10, 20 years ago.
Well, there's Colton Peel just getting wrestled down to the ground, and I will tell you what, Nehemiah Oreda was right there to make the play, kind of looking like a wrestler there. They were wrestling back and forth. He's going to lose quite a few, probably 5 yards because of forward progress.
And that's a good forward progress spot.
Nehemiah Oreda, he was a second-team GSL defensive lineman last year, and probably could have been first team, but there were a lot of different people to pick from, and I think this year he'll probably get that first team designation because he has been a monster so far on defense. Here's the throw. Peel trying to go over the top one more time on 2nd and long. Same guy trying to get it to Connor Long.
Now, this is where you go to the film room. On a play like that, it's not necessarily about leading your receiver up the field. When they're side by side, you throw to the outside shoulder, and there was sideline to throw to on that one. So you've got to drop it to the outside shoulder, not over the top, and don't let it drift inside. That's danger zone.
Well, I'm sure head coach Dave Myers kind of likes seeing this a little bit, though. You know, we've seen so much running. And
I bring this up because these are the learning opportunities where you make the adjustment. It's going to make you that much more effective down the road.
Peel, another one. Oh, that time he had him open. That was to Kyson Olsen down the sideline, but I don't think Olsen was looking for the ball. And you can see him, he's grabbing his helmet saying, I should have probably caught that.
Well, and there was that gap between the corner underneath and the safety over the top. So on that one, you don't want to float it in. You want to zip it in. So that was the correct read. But 4th and long, out comes the punt team.
Punt team out for Ridgeline. Colton Peel unable to connect on a few pass plays. Makes it 4th and 15. So the Falcons will look to switch the field here. Braxton Dickerhoof, another punt. It's going to get way deep. Great punt, but Jack Pierce, he has been an awesome punt returner. Man, getting about 25 yards or so. I mean, he gets that down to the 25, 26-yard line. After fielding that punt at, what, the 2-3 yard line?
That was quite a punt. Out-punted the coverage and made him pay.
Jack Pierce, I mean, that is a defense and special teams player, but, man, he has been all over it. Take it to the house. Takes that pick six to the house. He's had some great punt returns. I mean, that's another thing.
And
if you
tackles, too. He's physical.
Gosh, you get all three, all three units on the same page. This prep team looks really good. As Kincaid is going to keep it himself. I think a bit of miscommunication on the handoff there or something, but he will still get about 2 or 3 yards. Shoot, they're going to give him 4 yards, so make it 2nd and 6.
Now, what I don't know is what the depth at quarterback looks like after Kincaid. And I don't see a junior quarterback on the roster. I see a couple sophomores.
Here's Kincaid. And instead of handing it off, he kind of just tried to quarterback draw, quarterback gut up the middle, but wasn't getting anything there. Credit to Ridgeline's number 49, Evan Anderson, getting in on that play.
See, what I'm seeing on the depth chart after Kincaid, both sophomores, Parker Gilbertson and Grayson Chu.
I think, yeah, I saw Grayson was maybe getting second reps, but he was splitting it with the other guy, so. We'll see. Kincaid still in at quarterback, though, with 9 minutes and 35 counting. And Kincaid nowhere to go. This Ridgeline defense has kind of been in the backfield here on these couple of plays.
Well, and what you want to do too as you build depth is you start bringing in some of the twos in. You want to get reps with your starting quarterback, and then maybe a little further along in the game, now you can start building depth by bringing in your number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, a little timeout on the field because right now a Ridgeline defender is down after what looked like may have been a tackle. Yeah, I think a tackle for loss. Hopefully he's okay. It's the cramps. Everybody's kind of cramping now, and that's
no surprise.
Yep. It's still hot out here.
We're up here in the booth.
We're up here in the booth, and we've got the windows open. We're trying to feel a little bit of this breeze. I mean, it is still warm. We've had this heat snap here over the Inland Empire, and it's been Inland Northwest. It's been tough. I mean, you got to get those fluids in you. So that'll bring out the punt unit for Gonzaga Prep.
And we're in polo shirts, not full-on football gear.
You can't imagine how those guys are feeling down there.
And we're sitting on our rear ends. We're not out there running around. So.
Yeah, we should not be complaining, Mike. I 100% agree. As G Prep will bring out the punt unit, and Ridgeline will look to do something. That kick is high, pretty deep, but it will get a friendly Ridgeline bounce. So they'll go ahead and down that at about the 38-yard line. And the Falcons will set up shop at the 38, looking to try and get a touchdown on the board, as we have not been able to see the Falcons get into the end zone yet this game. They've marched down a few times. Of course, we saw Braxton Dickerhoof kick a 44-yarder, so that's why they got the 3 points on the board. But so far, I mean, a good defensive stop with mostly, all the starters out there for Gonzaga Prep. So Falcons defense said, hey, we'll get the ball back for our offense. Here's Peel, booting right. Going to throw it, in and out of the hands. That's just a mental mistake there by, I think, Kyson Olsen.
That was Olsen.
Yeah, Kyson Olsen.
And again, that's just not looking the ball into the hands. That's running, but it's you catch, you tuck, and you run in that order.
I will say, I got to give credit to Colton Peel. He is a running, he likes to throw on the run. He's had some really good balls right in the hands of his receivers, and sometimes they just haven't been able to come up with a catch. As there's a quick pass over to the near sideline here to get about 6 or 7 yards. Great catch by Henry Rogers. Or excuse me, that was Connor Long.
Peel at quarterback. A nice throw, tight spiral, catchable ball.
Yeah.
And his first varsity start, he's only going to get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast his first start on varsity, and there he is. A great catch and run. Jamison Murphy, he's got the corner. Can he make it? He is taken down, but after a big play, a nice explosive from Ridgeline. Good to see from the Falcons.
And this is the deepest penetration of the game into Gonzaga Prep territory.
Yeah, the quick play action,
nice
quick
block
throw.
On the edge, too.
Great block.
Two nice blocks.
And Murphy was able to use the green grass in front of him and get deep into Bullpup territory. And Jamison Murphy, I mean, these are all juniors, so remember that. Peel at junior, Colton Skinner, he's a senior running back, so they're going to hand it off to him to the right side. He's drugged down for what I think is a bit of a loss, didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
But just a reminder, the offensive starters for Ridgeline, we talked about this earlier, but 2 seniors, 8 juniors, 1 sophomore.
Wow.
That is a young team.
Yeah, young team, and yep, they're only going to get better. So Ridgeline fans, do not get discouraged. You're also playing against one of the best teams in the state right now, and I mean, you're fighting. You're fighting 38-3. You're in the end zone, or in the red zone here, trying to convert. Second and about 11, and we'll have the officials whistling and a timeout for Ridgeline. So play clock was winding down, and go ahead and make sure everybody's on same page. I mean, you want to get a score here.
Yeah, this is not clock management. You're absolutely right, Noah. This is game management. And okay, you've got 3 points on the board. Let's finish a drive and get 6 points on the board. Use your timeout, regroup. You're in the red zone. See what you can do against a stout defense.
One thing I do have to say, at least at the beginning of this game, Ridgeline was getting down the field, running the ball. Obviously, Gonzaga Prep, they made their adjustments, and they are much bigger on the defensive line. And we just saw, of course, Skinner, a 1-yard loss. But this whole drive has been passing.
Yes, it has.
And so we'll have to see. You get down here into the end zone, there's less lanes to pass, a little less green grass. But we'll have to see how they get this one in the end zone if they can.
Well, this drive, and it's a great point, Noah, this is identity of the last couple of years for Ridgeline. Pass first, may the pass open up the run, and that's what I'm seeing here in the second half.
We'll have to see how they try and punch this one in, as we have 2nd and 11, ball at about the 16, 17-yard line here.
You could go A-gap between the 2 big cool boys in there.
And instead they will, looks like they're going to look to throw before the flag.
Prep is offsides.
Oh, all right, so
Prep jumped.
The Bullpups will gift them 5 yards. Make it a little bit of a, less field to work with, but you're closer to the sticks because you can still get a first down and not score.
2nd and 7 sounds a lot better than 2nd and 12.
For sure. So
perhaps 2nd and 6.
So 2nd and 6 now. Still a lot of time left on the clock, too. Don't forget about that. 38-3. Falcons trying to punch it in. Here's a little jet touch pass. Trying to get something going, but there's not a whole lot. Good job by the Prep defense.
Now, this is where you're thinking 4-down territory. I think here what you want to do is battle in the trenches, show you can win in the trenches in the 4th quarter with a young team, and go for the touchdown. Unless it's 4th and unmanageable, I think you're thinking you've got 2 plays to get that first down.
So 3rd and 4, we'll see what happens. He's got Colton Skinner to his right. He's got 3 receivers to his left and another one to his right. Here's Peel, going to throw it quickly over to the inside of the middle. Can he get in? He can't. It was close. A great catch and throw, or throw and catch, I should say, from Peel to, I believe, was that number 18? Was that Murphy?
And I think forward progress, it's the 1 or 2 yard line. I'll have to look at the spot here.
Well, that gives him a first down as well. Don't forget about that.
Yep, 1st and goal, and they got just inside the 2 yard line.
Jeez, Jamison Murphy, the little junior here, trying to stay up with all sorts of Bullpup defenders. So here's 1st and goal. Hand it off. No, they will keep it. He'll keep it on the read option. Oh, he tries to dive into the end zone. I think he's got about a gain of 1.
Great close by the cornerback.
Yeah. Colton Peel kept it on the read option, tried to get outside, but nice job by the corner. Yeah.
I want to pick up that number. Look how he shut off a block. Number 12, that's Nahom Gedahum. And I hope I pronounced that correctly. We didn't get the pronouncers here.
Yeah, it's great. And there it is. Touchdown, Ridgeline Falcons. They get on the board. Colton Skinner will go ahead and punch it in. The first touchdown of the game for the Ridgeline Falcons. Colton Skinner, he has been the workhorse for this Falcon running game, and he finally gets to pay dirt here late in the fourth quarter. His hard work is paid off here with a touchdown.
Ridgeline has not backed down.
Not at all. And here's the extra point by Dickerhuth. And looks like he gets it up and in. So make it a 38-10 Gonzaga Prep lead late here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more high school football action on SWX. High school football on SWX is presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. Back out here, Gonzaga Prep High School, the Bullpups in charge, 38-10 over the Ridgeline Falcons, but Ridgeline able to score their first touchdown of the game here late, and that's good for this young core of Falcons. They needed to see that here in this first game, see the ball get in the end zone.
And I want to make a huge point, because at the start of the second half, I made the comment, you've got to, for Ridgeline, shut the first half out of the break.
Yeah.
You got to flush it. The goal is to come out and win the second half. Well, you know what? They're winning 10-7 in the second half.
Yeah.
This is something you can build on. There is no quit in this Ridgeline team, and you've seen big improvement from first half to second half.
And I'm sure that's also something that head coach Nate Graham probably is going to talk to his Bullpup team about. Hey, we let off the gas here in the second half, so I'm sure both teams have something to work on as this one is booted deep. Dickerhuff, he has a leg on him. Wow. Out of the end zone, that is a touchback, and the Bullpups will set up shop at the 20.
And that calf cramp doesn't appear to be bothering him right now.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, this is the stage of the game now with under 6 minutes left to play. You either get some subs in, and if you've been playing the whole game, hopefully you've been hydrating, because, yeah, we've been seeing some cramping going on. But right now, the G-Prep students, they look like they're having a little bit of fun, enjoying the 38-10 lead, as we will have a new quarterback come in, and right off the gun, that's a mishandled snap by the new quarterback. That's Parker Gilbertson in.
And that's just not watching the ball into the hands. A little bit of jitters there. Just a sophomore.
Yeah, Parker Gilbertson, sophomore, 5'10", 155 pounds. Yeah, you just first time in, you got to get the snap.
Yeah, you probably his first varsity action ever.
Yep. It's Gilbertson. Nice little toss out there, and to the sure-handed running back, that's number 26, Jack Ward, also a sophomore coming in here, a sub.
But this is where you need to start building depth. And you don't have a junior quarterback in the program. The more reps you can get, you're developing for next year and the following year.
So Jack Ward in at running back, Parker Gilbertson in at quarterback as the subs have started to flood in here for the Bullpups. Some very meaningful reps here as it's 3rd and 12 for Gonzaga Prep. Gilbertson going to hand it off. Number 82, that's Isaac Omen. And Omen will get enough for a first down.
Classic Gonzaga Prep. 3rd and greater than 10 to go. That was 13 yards to go. Stick to the running game, get a first down.
Isaac Omen, he's a junior coming in. And the junior's got some speed, also following his blockers. Great block there. Number 6, and we actually don't have a number 6 here on the Gonzaga Prep roster, so we'll have to try and figure out that name for you. But here's a way to keep it and then try and get a nice little lateral to his running back. Parker Gilbertson read the defense well.
That had me faked out. I was
Yeah,
looking
me
at the
too.
runner up the gut, and all of a sudden he's out on the edge, and a nice little 7-yard gain.
And getting that nice gain was Isaac Omen. And he runs off the field, so another new Bullpup runs in.
Or maybe I got fooled out because I'm getting a brain cramp up here in the booth. What do you think about that, Noah?
You could be right. It is still a little warm out there. Is right up the gut. Tevita Tuipulotu. Make sure I say that one right. Tuipulotu.
Lotu.
There you go. Lotu. Getting the carry, and man, a big game.
I played with a Tui Alalima, and then of course there was Tui Asasopo.
Tuiasosopo, that's
love those Samoan names.
Uh-huh. So Tavita, he got a nice gain there, the junior running back. So you got all sorts of subs in here, and Gonzaga Prep has found a rhythm. And not sure what they were doing there. Yeah, 2 men in motion.
And that will draw a flag. You can only have 1 man in motion at the same time.
It's always kind of funny because both sides, same motion, they look at each other like, I thought I was supposed to be running. And then everybody kind of stops and the play gets blown up.
And the quarterback knows, so say, I'm just going to go down.
Yep.
Yeah. Call it a do-over. Wave the flag off.
Yeah, you can see both motion men go, okay. And then the quarterback says, let me just make sure, I get down. So Parker Gilbertson still in at quarterback. He's going to go ahead and hand it off up the middle. Oh, he was tripped up. I thought maybe he kept it.
Yeah, he got number 55, Mitchell Crowley, just a sophomore, 6'2", 231. He shot in there like a rocket.
Yeah, to get the running back down. And unfortunately for us, we do not have a number 6 on our roster. So the running back brought down behind the backfield, so that'll make it a 3rd and about 14 yards. We'll see what G Prep does. They were able to convert on 3rd and long a little bit earlier here on this drive. Here's the motion man, Isaac Omen. The snap is bobbled. Actually looked like it was pretty low.
And offsides defense. What a break for Gonzaga Prep.
Yeah, so
Ridgeline, that's an administrative penalty lined up in the neutral zone.
Makes the 3rd down try a little bit easier here. Make it 3rd and 9.
Well, and with that snap, you're looking at 4th and long. It's a punt. You're going to get the ball back, get to practice your 2-minute drill.
There you go. So make it 3rd and 9. Parker Gilbertson in at quarterback here for Gonzaga Prep late in this game. Minute 30 left to play. He's going to go ahead and hand it off to Holden Dickus. As Holden able to get the sophomore running back there, able to get enough, but there is a flag on the play, so.
To be expected.
Yep. You got all sorts of subs in, holding.
Many of them getting their first varsity experience.
Just what you'd expect, so.
Right back to 3rd and 12.
I was going to say, they go right back to where they started there, so.
Actually, I think it was 3rd and 9. So
oh, you're right.
It's 3rd and 11 now.
3rd and 11.
3rd and long. Let's just call it that.
3rd and long. We're about to hit the minute left to play here in the ball game. 38-10. We'll have to see how the Bullpups try and attempt this 3rd down try here. Ridgeline defense kind of switching back and forth, trying to make sure everything's good. And that is going to be right up the middle. Great run, almost gets to the 1st down, but he'll be about 2 yards short.
Now, you can try to go for it on 4th down or see what kind of field goal range you have with your kicker.
I think that was Jack Ward on the carry.
You're right on the cusp. This would be roughly a 50-yard field goal, but looks like Gonzaga's going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 2. Yeah, you're kind of in no man's land unless you want to kick a field goal, but why do that when, you know, give the kids some play here. 15 seconds left in this game. Here's a snap. Up the middle. The run. Trying to bulldoze over. And he's finally brought down. That was Tavita.
And that should be a wrap.
And that will do it. As time winds down and out, 38-10, Gonzaga Prep will get the win over the Ridgeline Falcons. Mike, what were your thoughts on this game? Just tell me a little bit about, I guess let's start with the winners, Gonzaga Prep. They kind of dominated in all facets of the game.
They are dominating. 31-0 at halftime. Ridgeline did move the ball a little bit offensively, but just couldn't hit pay dirt. And it was a dominating first half for Gonzaga Prep. Little bit of a letdown, though, in the second half. And I don't think Coach is going to be happy with that letdown. Ridgeline, on the other hand, they really made adjustments at halftime, came out. Hey, they win the victory. Second half, they won 10-7.
Well, let's take you to tonight's player of the game. It's presented by Finley Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Finley. And our player of the game? Well, it's none other than number 8 right there, Jonah Keller.
One of the K's of the special K's. Kincaid had an incredible game. Pierce with a pick 6, some great defensive work, but at the end of the day, Keller, how many yards after catch, and turned maybe a 20-yard gain into 80-yard touchdown?
Yeah, someone to watch, and I mean, we had 3 players who probably could have got it. Kincaid, like you said, Keller, any of those guys, but final score here from Gonzaga Prep, 38-10. They beat the Ridgeline Falcons. For myself, Noah Schmick, alongside Mike Peterson and our whole SWX broadcast crew, we want to thank you so much for watching this presentation of high school football on SWX. And don't worry, we have a whole lot more. This was just our season opener, and we can't wait for you to watch our next broadcast. For Noah Schmick and Mike Peterson, our whole SWX crew, thanks so much for watching. 38-10, Gonzaga Prep gets a Week 1 win.